Guatemala, 1954. On May 23, 1997, the CIA released several hundred formerly classified documents about U.S. involvement in the 1954 coup in Guatemala. These were only a fraction of the government documents, but they showed how the CIA tried to stop the spread of communism to countries in Latin America during the Cold War. In the map on the left, you can see Guatemala is just south of Mexico. It begins. Planning for Americans to go into Guatemala began in 1952 when President of Nicaragua, Anastasio Somoza, asked the U.S. for help to overthrow the democratically elected leader of Guatemala, Jacobo Arbenz Guzman. There is a longer history here of U.S. involvement in Guatemala and other banana republics that we will skip for now. For more information, follow the link on Schoology. President Truman gave permission for money and weapons to go to the anti-Arbenz groups because he was nervous about Arbenz's communist leanings and his stance on land policy, particularly because there was one United States business that was operating on Guatemalan land. The coup failed in 5 weeks. When Dwight D. Eisenhower became president in 1953, he supported aggressive action to contain communism in Latin America. Eisenhower believed that Arbenz threatened U.S. national security, and he gave permission for a secret military operation in Guatemala. The goals of the operation, codenamed PB Success, were to 1. Replace Arbenz with a U.S. selected leader, and 2. To send a warning to the USSR that the spread of communism into North and South America would not be allowed. You can see the picture on the left where rebels are aiming their guns at a doll dressed up as the Guatemalan President Arbenz during the 1954 coup. The sign is translated as, "They call me from Russia, I go with Arevalo." Arevalo is the previous Guatemalan president who was seen as a communist by the U.S. and neighboring regimes due to his socialist policies. By 1953, the very secretive PB Success had become a top priority for CIA officials. The CIA, 1. Trained Latin American volunteers to become soldiers in the revolution in training camps in Honduras and Nicaragua. President Eisenhower did not allow U.S. troops to be used. 2. They ran a huge propaganda campaign to convince the people of Guatemala of how strong and likely to succeed these soldiers were. 3. He fought a powerful psychological battles against the supporters of Arbenz, ranging from phone calls in the middle of the night to death threats. And 4. Had U.S. warplanes bomb the capital city of Guatemala. On the left, you can see a picture of the propaganda supported by the United States in Guatemala. After a year of getting ready, the soldiers invaded Guatemala to try to replace Arbenz. Arbenz realized his army had left him, so he resigned as president and fled to Mexico. The U.S. chosen leader, Carlos Castillo Armas, became the leader. At least 48 U.S. trained troops died in the attack, but Eisenhower was told it was only 1. Thinking that PBS Success was successful and almost without anyone dying, PB Success became a model for other U.S.-backed involvement in Latin America. This is a very famous painting by Diego Rivera called Gloriosa Victoria, and it tells the story of the 1954 overthrow of the democratically elected leader Arbenz. In the picture, you can see the coup colonel Carlos Castillo Armas greeting the Secretary of State, John Foster Dulles. He is holding a bomb with the face of President Eisenhower on it, and they are surrounded by people who are murdered in the coup. To his left is U.S. Ambassador John Purifoy with military officers and CIA Director Alan W. Dulles whispering in his brother's ear. On the right is the Archbishop of Guatemala, Mariano Rosell Arellano, blesses this act while Guatemalans protest. Although PB Success did replace the leader of Guatemala, Castillo Armas was assassinated after only 3 years in power. The long-term consequences of U.S. involvement was 4 decades of instability and civil war within Guatemala. For the next 4 decades, Guatemalans suffered from government terror without equal in the modern history of Latin America. As one American observer described it, in Guatemala City, unlicensed vans full of heavily armed men pulled to a stop and in broad daylight kidnap another death squad victim. Mutilated bodies are dropped from helicopters on crowded stadiums to keep the population terrified. Those who dare ask about disappeared loved ones have their tongues cut out. El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Panama, and Guatemala have all been occupied by the United States. U.S. military intervention has undeniably shaped the history of Central America. You have one question at the end of your sheet about your opinion regarding immigration of people from these countries today to the U.S.